Hello and welcome to the Squared Circle Psychobabble. My name is Michael Valenti. This is Ralph Valenti. And we're going to play Shoot or Work. We haven't done it in a couple of weeks. So here's how it works. We have some rumored WrestleMania 35 matches. We'll say shoot if we think they're happening, work if we think they're not. And there's some big matches here involving some of the biggest names of today and of the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. HBK Shawn Michaels versus Daniel Bryan, The Rock versus Brock Lesnar. If you want to head over to whichever match you think we're going to talk about, we have the timestamps in the description, so check that out if you want to fast forward. So let's start with what could be a WWE Championship match. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Now, the rumor doesn't say whether or not it will be for the WWE Championship, but this is something that makes a lot of sense. Shoot or work on the Phenomenal One versus the Viper.
Right. I'm going to go shoot on this one. Of the three that we were just talking about, of the three matches that are rumored on the internet right now, excuse me, I think this one seems the most logical. It all depends on what happens at TLC tonight, what happens with Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, when the blow-off is going to be. But this seems like something that could happen down the road. They've been kept apart. I don't think they've feuded since AJ's been.
I don't think so either.
WWE. So, I mean, I think it could be good. I think they'll have a good match. I'm into it. So, I think this is a shoot.
I think this is a shoot as well, and I believe we talked about this on like the very first couple of episodes with this character that Randy Orton has, and he's trying to go after all the fan favorites. Mm-hmm. He went after Jeff Hardy, now is going with Rey Mysterio, and now if this is going to happen, AJ Styles is like the fan favorite right now, especially on SmackDown. So I would definitely think this is kind of the culmination of Randy's story of being like the ultimate heel on SmackDown, and AJ being the top babyface. There it is, right there.
Right.
So do I think it's for the title? See, with Daniel Bryan winning the title already, it kind of threw a lot of what I thought was going to happen out the window. Like I was saying for months that it was going to be The Miz takes the title off AJ. Yeah. Then we were having Daniel Bryan win the Royal Rumble, and that was your WWE Championship match. But now it seems like we're going to get Miz and Shane McMahon. The rumor with this HBK Daniel Bryan match, that throws it out the window. The card is, I doubt anything's set in stone right now for WrestleMania. But a lot of the rumor matches that we're hearing, this could be, if everything plays to the hype, the best WrestleMania we've ever seen. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to say shoot. I do think AJ and Randy will happen, but I don't think it's for the WWE Championship, though. Daniel Bryan versus Shawn Michaels, a teacher versus student match. To me, I think this is a work. I would love to see this, and a lot of people would love to see this. I'm not exactly sure where the rumor started. I don't know if this was Meltzer or Barn Burner or Ringside News, whoever. But this would be a great match to have. And even Shawn Michaels' current state, I think they could still have a 4.5, 5-star match without question. The problem is there's so many things on this card, and if all the rumor matches happen, this kind of gets lost in the shuffle. Where would you put it on the card? It won't main event. You don't want it to go first because it's Shawn Michaels. It's tough. Mm-hmm. What would you do?
Well, first of all, I do think this is a work. I don't think this match will actually happen. I think every single year fans come up with these fantasy matches and, like Sting and Undertaker. Every year at WrestleMania, okay, we're going to see Sting and Undertaker. It never happened. Austin and CM Punk. Oh, Austin's going to come back and face CM. I think this is right up there with one of them. Right. As much as I'd like to see the match, because like you said, it's an easy story to tell. Teacher versus student, they can do something like, well, what happened to you, Daniel Bryan? You're obsessed with the title. You become something that you hate, whatever. Right. It could be a good storyline. I don't think it's actually going to happen. I think that fans are going to be disappointed because every year they kind of set themselves up or put themselves in these situations where they read this online and now there's an expectation that this needs to happen. Same thing happens with Royal Rumble. Like, people are saying, oh, well, you're going to get Cody Rhodes debuting. You're going to get Kenny Omega coming out the Royal Rumble. And then when it doesn't happen, and then a guy like Rey Mysterio comes out at number 30, well, now all of a sudden Rey Mysterio's
He's got X-Pac heat.
Yeah, he's hated. So, to me, this is a work. I don't think this happens.
It's interesting because just a month ago we were saying, and I have an episode up, and we'll have the link in the description. AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels was a rumored match, and we did a comparison of Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles. Mm-hmm. Is there even worth a comparison? So that also makes me believe that this is a work. Like, people are just throwing names at Shawn Michaels because he had his match at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to admit it, maybe that was the only match we see Shawn Michaels come back for.
And if he's going to come back, the only logical match I could see him having at WrestleMania is with The Undertaker, to me. So,
right.
I don't know.
And Undertaker might have a match with John Cena. Might have a rematch there. We don't know what John Cena's doing. We don't know if The Undertaker's going to be back in the ring, what he's doing.
You don't know if John Cena is going to be at Wrestle. I mean,
you don't. I mean, I would think Cena would be there, but again, his movies are more important today, as is with this guy, The Rock. Now, rumor is that originally the plan was to have Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania. The Rock would win the Royal Rumble. We talked about that in an early episode. Mm-hmm. And he would be facing Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Obviously, Roman Reigns is no longer there because he is fighting leukemia. The Rock, I don't know what movie commitments he has, but now they're starting to swirl the rumors that we'll see a Brock versus Rock rematch of SummerSlam 2002. Mm-hmm. Shoot or work on the Beast versus the Great One.
I think this is a work also. I think this is, again, the fantasy booking, the internet getting ahead of itself. People are kind of setting themselves up for, well, I don't even know if it would be disappointment at this state, because I don't know if people are really clamoring for this match. I don't know if people want to see it. I don't know if it's something that's in high demand. And the other thing is, with all the issues with Monday Night Raw and all of the things about Brock Lesnar not being on Monday Night Raw as consistently as he should be, in order to promote that match, they're both going to have to be there. They're both, well, Brock's already on a part-time schedule. I'm sure The Rock is going to have limited dates that he'd be able to work. So how do you build that match? And not only how do you build it, but, you know, like I said, are people really going to be interested in this? I don't think so.
I think there will be interest in it just because of the names themselves and the crossover attention that they have, with The Rock being the most popular actor right now. Brock Lesnar being Brock Lesnar despite being a part-time wrestler. Here's the thing that is a problem, though. If this match happens, it's obviously going to be the main event. Obviously. Mm-hmm. That's not the main event people want right now. They want Becky and Ronda. Do you sacrifice Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey for this match?
No. And this is where WWE will always be thick-headed because of what they've done in the past, where, you know, this guy should be in the main event, this should be the main event, this is who should be in it. Do I have a problem with Brock and Rock? No. Do I have a problem if it headlines? Yes, because the fans are going to automatically say, this is WWE forcing a match down our throat, a main event being forced down our throat. Is The Rock popular? Undoubtedly. One of the biggest draws, one of the greatest of all time. But how long ago was that? We haven't seen him in how many years, so how relevant is he to today's fans? I think that if they put those two guys out there, one guy who's part-time, one guy who hasn't been there in years, people will view that as more of a negative thing, and it's going to hurt the card more than it will help it. I think the other problem here with Brock Lesnar too is people are already frustrated with his limited dates, and then we know there's serious issues with Monday Night Raw, which you can kind of look at the ratings and everything else. So that's one of the things that I think they have to fix immediately. And if that match is going to happen, that means Brock carries the belt to WrestleMania. Do you run that risk of the ratings, allowing your ratings to continue to drop. I mean, obviously around WrestleMania they'll.
But at what point does the Universal title have no meaning?
It might be at that point right now. I mean, if Brock's not there and he's not defending it, I don't have a problem with Brock Lesnar's part-time schedule. I have no problem with him being the champion, but something's not right on Monday Night Raw.
Right. We've already talked about that. I think I don't know why, but I think this is a shoot. I think we're getting Rock Brock, or at least they're attempting to get Rock Brock. Mm-hmm. They want The Rock at this WrestleMania. At what capacity, I don't know, but if it's a match, this is really the only person you could put him against. And it has a story, and think about the promos that'll be cut back and forth between Paul Heyman and The Rock. You want to talk about ratings boost? Those two guys, if they're on Raw, they will boost ratings. What if Vince McMahon comes out on Raw and says, The Rock's coming back? That's how you fix the ratings, my friend. That's how you fix it.
That's going to happen.
I don't know, but what do you think? Tweet us at SCPB Podcast. Use the hashtag shoot or work. Do you think any of these matches happen? AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels versus Daniel Bryan, or The Rock versus Brock? Also, comment below, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications as we're trying to get to 1,000 YouTube subscribers before the Royal Rumble. And, of course, if you are listening on your favorite podcast provider, make sure you subscribe, review, and share so that more people listen to the Squared Circle Psychobabble. My name is Michael Valenti. This is Ralph Valenti. Thank you for listening to the Squared Circle Psychobabble.